Well, welcome everybody. I'm here with Gail Kingsbury, the founder and CEO of United Tiny Homes. And Gail, when I first met you and learned about this project, I've been hearing about the growth of the need for tiny homes, right? I mean,
Right.
obviously you're in a niche that is exploding. Why? Because real estate is expensive, home construction is expensive. All these things are rising in costs, and people are trying to figure out a better way to make a lifestyle work, and maybe even as a second or third home by the mountains, by the lake, whatever
Right.
it might be. There
Mhm.
are so many different use cases as well as just traditional housing. But again, I don't want to take that thunder away from you. I want you to explain that for sure. But Gail, bring us up to speed with the genesis. I mean, how did you get involved with this amazing explosive market?
Well, actually, I was in the event business
Hmm.
for 35 years, working with a lot of the top names like Tony Robbins, people, household names
Yeah.
forever, producing their events, building their brands, and doing all of that. And then COVID hit,
Mm.
and you couldn't have five people in your living room, let alone 50,000 people at an event.
Yeah.
And so everything stopped. And I thought, oh, this is great. I can work on my own stuff. I'm just gonna come down to Phoenix and be a snowbird for the winter and see some friends and figure out what I'm gonna do next. And here we are. This is what I did next.
Yes,
Oh.
I love it. Tell us about the warehouse facility here. How many square feet do you have there?
Right now we're in 68,000 square feet. You can see
Yeah,
down here.
and I see
We
some
actually just
homes
had a
in
whole
the
bunch of homes
process.
leave.
Yeah,
Normally you have like,
I see that there's some homes in the process being built there right now, actually.
yeah, we've got homes here. Uh, we've got, you can't really tell them, but there's chassis all the way down long down here for those
Uh-huh.
homes that are starting. We just had a bunch of homes out the door over the last couple of weeks, and yeah, we've been busy.
Yeah, it's really exciting this time because I've got to imagine that you're getting a lot of people that are asking, how soon can you build my home? I want this style and we want to put it over here. And there's a bunch of nuances that I don't fully understand. But who's helping you navigate all that? Tell me about the team. I mean, you must have an amazing team with all this stuff going on in 68,000 square feet.
We do have an amazing team. I've got a great business partner, Austin Bennett. He's our guru of building. We've brought on, our CFO came from Goodyear Tire
Wow.
Company. My COO comes from a background in the government and procuring and running like $5 billion budgets, which we don't have, which is great. but but when we get there, he can handle it.
Yeah.
And then we have an amazing crew. So, I think we've built a really cool culture and a good crew of people.
That is awesome. So tell us about the process where someone learns about United Tiny Homes. And I'm sure you're not the only tiny home competitor that people take a look at.
Mhm.
What is it about United Tiny Homes where people are like, we got to build with Gail and her team? Are there some themes? I know you showed me some different projects that you're doing. One looked like a very pioneer type of home. Are there just things that you guys can do that others can't accomplish?
Well, I think actually any of them could accomplish it. It's just a choice on whether they're doing it or not. And we made a very solid choice from the beginning that we wanted to hit the marketplace. I mean, there's tiny homes everywhere.
Yeah.
Tiny Home Nation and what Zach Geffen has done in an entire movement has been incredible. Um, but we wanted to build homes that could be lived in because what we did was we looked at this need. Okay, you've got parents needing to put them in the backyard for kids for their first home because home ownership is so expensive.
Yeah.
Then you've got kids putting them in the backyard for their aging parents,
Mm,
right?
good point.
Multi-generational housing is a huge piece of our market. We've got some families where we've taken a home and put it into their backyard for their parent. They were paying $7,500 a month to have them in an
Wow.
assisted living place. And now their mom is thriving. Her health is better. She's not sitting there waiting for, is somebody going to come visit me today? Am I going to have the same ham and cheese sandwich for the third day in a row for dinner?
Yeah,
And it's changing the dynamics and saving their family. It's saving their family wealth. Um,
I love that.
so what we decided was we wouldn't just didn't want to be this mass manufacturer. We want to make a difference.
Yeah,
And we want to make a solid product that's going to last. It's not going to be something that's going to last for 5 or 10 years. It's going to last for 50 or 60 years or 70 years. So we decided to utilize, to answer your question after all my talking there, um, is that we use standard construction, standard residential construction. They just have a chassis underneath them to get them where they need to be.
that's really good to know. And, talking about some of those points that you just hit on there, and I don't know if it'll be possible during this segment, but I would love to maybe get a tour of one of the homes, one of your favorite that's being pulled up. That I understand that I'm putting you on the spot there, Gail, but if we can do that, I'm sure investors would love to see that. And on a related point,
Sure.
folks, you've seen a link that's come up. Go ahead and click on that link if you'd like to learn more about this opportunity. We're not going to go into the granular details of the amount that's being raised or anything like that. We can get you that information and make sure that it makes sense and put you in touch with Gail Kingsbury, the founder and CEO of United Tiny Homes.
Yeah.
But let's jump back into what you're going to be utilizing the capital for, as well as, maybe taking a tour of one of these homes. But going back to that construction where you're saying you're using traditional means of construction, does that mean that it's a lot more expensive than something else? And is it difficult for financing? And, what does that all look like so that an investor can understand how easy is it to get this product into the marketplace? Because from my understanding, Gail, is you've got people like on a waiting list to get this product into their hands. So why
We
don't you
do. We
just
have
pick up on
about
any of
39
those
million
topics?
in, yeah, we've
Yeah.
got about 39 million right now in signed orders.
Wow.
Because we're also working with developers as well who are putting in, 65 homes up near Sedona, for instance,
So let
for
me just
worker
repeat
housing.
that. Let me repeat that. I think you just said 39 million in orders for home. That is absolutely remarkable. And you're working with developers, folks that want to take a piece of land and make it affordable for people to live there. Tell us about that and jump in on the other points that I was asking about anytime to fill in those gaps.
Well, so for instance, the one up in Camp Verde, Arizona. So it's close. It's a couple hours from here. It's just outside of Sedona. But Sedona actually made it legal to sleep in your car in several parking lots in the city because
Wow.
there is no affordable housing.
Wow.
And the developer that we're working with owns one of the tour companies up there, and he can't keep employees. They hire, they go through training, but there's nowhere for these people to live. So he said, screw it, little Branson, right? Little Richard Branson, screw it, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And took a piece of property. We're putting 65 homes on there. They will all be affordable rental homes.
Uh-huh.
So, but he went through a lot of different companies. He decided to work with us because he wanted these homes to last and to
Yeah.
not be just cheap rentals, but places where these people are going to, they'll have pride while they're there. They'll be using it as transitional housing until they find something else.
Sure.
But he knows that he can keep his own workforce. He's working with the city and all of, the fire department wants some, the police department wants some, the hospital is taking a bunch so that
Yeah.
because as they have people coming in, they need a place for them to be. So we're just changing the game
Yeah.
in some of those respects by working with some of these people.
Yeah, and I think the exciting thing about that is you hit the nail on the head where there's this need for transitional homes and living spaces and things of that nature. What I'm really curious about is when you think about that, what is the range of cost? So if someone like this gentleman is putting that in place so that he can have his employees in a nice place, not make it feel like, oh gosh, this is just some cheap rental. So something, if we throw quotes around a cheap rental where someone can get in to a tiny home relatively inexpensively to something that is more, let's say, bougie. Are we allowed to use that
Bougie.
word? Are we allowed to use that
We,
word in the financial world? Guys, if you're listening in, bougie means really, really nice. Okay.
yeah. So
So what does that look like?
we're semi bouge.
Okay. So talk to me about the price range, what that looks like.
Well, our homes range anywhere from 80 to about 150,000.
Okay. So 80 to 150,000, and then talk to us about the financing. What does that look like for somebody? You're going to have folks that I bet just plunk down the 150 cash out of
Mhm.
their own retirement account or whatever it is, and they're able to do that for a season of life that they're in. But maybe what about someone that is just going into the new home market
Yeah.
and doesn't have the affordability to do that? What does that look like?
Well, one of the things, Izzy, that we really want to be is attainable, not affordable housing. We don't want the stigma of, you know, mobile homes or just, the affordable housing, but really what's attainable for people. What do they need? And um, so we work with a couple of different lenders. So it's chattel because it has wheels. Even though we can take the wheels and axles off and permanently affix it to the ground, it's considered chattel. It has a VIN number.
Yeah.
But you can get a 25-year mortgage with as little as 5% down
Wow.
on our homes.
Wow,
Mhm.
that is absolutely amazing. So, do
Yep.
you have a team of people or is that outsourced? What does that look like when someone walks in the door and says, "Oh my gosh, this is perfect. I want one of these. I've got 10, 15 grand that I can put down, whatever it is." And does someone there help them with the financing options?
Our sales team puts them in touch. We don't do in-house financing yet. We're working on it, but we don't do that yet.
Excellent.
But that is something that's, in our phase 2 or 3 moving down the line. But we do work with a broker who works with several different lenders. We have a great relationship with our main lender, which is Triad Financial. They do a great job for our customers and they can close quickly. So we'll start building their home by the time we're done. The goal is to have anything that has to be done on the land completed so that, 90 to 120 days later, their home's delivered. It takes a day and a half to connect it and they're in.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing.
So,
Talk to me about,
and if you're thinking about too, like for the ADU market, if you're bringing in a construction crew and you're going to build it on site, you're going to have people in your backyard tearing it up for months and
yeah,
months and months.
yeah.
And then you're dealing with the inspection processes with the city or the county and all of the things that go along with that. And then contractors who, sometimes are delayed.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that before. I'm sure
Yeah.
investors on here have seen that before. And on a related point, folks, you've been seeing that link. Go ahead and click on that and make a determination. Get your questions answered to see if this merits being in your portfolio. Speaking of that, there's the use of proceeds with this capital raise that you're doing right now. And again, we'll go into the granular details when you speak with them directly. However, related to the growth plan and what you're utilizing the capital for, if you could help those investors understand that, because with this backlog of orders that you have and what you're doing right now that's on the manufacturing floor, what is the plan with the capital that's going to be coming in?
Well, we have a very specific use of funds, based on what comes in. Our biggest thing is that we need our materials here. So we need to be able to have materials in-house.
Hmm.
If we have everything to build your home, if everything was in-house the day we start, we can turn your home around in 16 days. That
Wow.
in, that increases our efficiencies. That increases our output. That
Holy
increases our
smokes.
ability to increase our profit margins, right? That's based on, we have a this much of a profit margin buying in bulk. I'll give you a good example. If I buy steel for one chassis for one home, it's $3,200. If I buy steel right now for 5 chassis, it's nine.
Holy smokes.
And that's just one thing,
Yeah.
right? If we buy, a truckload of shiplap because we don't use drywall
Yep.
and we don't use drywall because it cracks and we don't want to fix homes when they first arrive
Sure.
at places. But uh, we're saving when you go down the line, we're saving thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars per home by having everything here and being able to increase our workforce
Hmm.
gives us the ability to get things out faster. So if I can go from, between 5 and 10 homes a month out of the factory and double that, our overhead doesn't change. Our labor goes up a little, but our margin increases substantially.
Yes. Yes. That is absolutely remarkable. I didn't realize that you could see those type of discounts by having just some bulk products in the warehouse. And on
Yeah,
a,
it's really simple. I mean, we save $1,300 to $1,500 per home by buying 5 sets of appliances at once.
Unbelievable. But do you
So we've done the work. That's the thing, is we've done the work. We know our workflows. We've gone through the phases. We've built, we're 5 years old. We made it through the hard stuff.
yeah,
And now we've got all these sales and we need to make it through the growth. So last year we made the Inc. 5000 fastest growing company list.
that's so exciting. Congratulations.
You know, we were 1467 on the list and number 45 in the state of Arizona, which is crazy. So
Unbelievable.
we've got this huge backlog of sales and we need to be able to deliver them. So our use of funds really is to improve that. That helps us, that puts us into a sustainability path. It gives us the ability to service, you know, the other debt that we do have and move the company forward in a very meaningful way.
That makes a lot of sense. And my question would be, and probably investors would want to know as well, if you started ordering all that ahead of time, are we getting too far over our skis? Does it make things too crowded in there? Do you have a big enough space? And I don't know if you want to share on a publicized channel like this about some of the plans that we talked about related to Missouri. And if you do, we can jump into that. But again, folks, click on the link. There's a lot of detail that we're trying to cover here, but way more will be covered when you speak directly with Gail Kingsbury, and I can make that happen for sure. And I'm looking forward to that. But let's jump into that, Gail. Tell us a little bit about that.
Those are great. Those are really great questions because, you know, no, we're not gonna order 5 truckloads of stuff and have it sitting here. But we've got a really great relationship with Home Depot,
Hmm.
right? We could order our lumber from the lumber yard, but Home Depot gets it from there too.
Mhm.
The lumber yard's not allowed to sell it for anything less than we can get it from Home Depot.
Mhm.
But Home Depot gets all the good wood.
Yeah,
And we have a line of credit with Home Depot.
got
So
it.
we roll that, and then we get points with Home Depot and we get all of those things. So our local store has really become a partner with us. So we can bring in 2 bunks of shiplap at a time, but they have the truckload there.
Yeah,
And so they keep, you know, all of our necessary things that we get from there, they keep in stock for us. So at any given point, we have enough for 5 homes in the factory, not enough for 50,
yeah,
because we don't want to have we don't want to have to purchase that. We don't want to have to be paying interest on materials that we're not utilizing right away.
yeah,
But keeping 5 homes at a time in complete rotation helps us. And we've got everything phased out. So we know that 2 weeks it's going to take us to get a truckload of 75 windows.
yeah.
And the chassis are done at this point. This is when we have to order the windows so that by the time the walls are up, the windows go in and everything's moving forward.
Wow, it's a complicated process, is what it sounds like, and yet you probably have it down to a science, I'm sure.
It's a lot easier than putting 50,000 people in a seminar. You just say, I'll build a house all day long.
Well, again, folks, this is a really exciting time. We're going to start sunsetting this conversation here. And before we do, click on that link. I don't know how long this opportunity is going to be open. She can certainly pump the brakes or hit the gas on more money and how that capital is utilized. And tell us, are we able to chat a little bit about what's happening and your thoughts around plans related to Missouri, as well as could we maybe take a peek inside of a home, or you can walk us into that. We can
Yes,
certainly
I
do
can.
that for sure.
Yeah, I'll probably have to move over to my phone and take you down there so we don't lose
Absolutely.
connection. But and I'll tell you about Missouri real quick. Missouri, we've identified Missouri as our second expansion facility.
Uh-huh.
We've worked with the state. We have all of the groundwork laid. Once we have everything moving in full capacity here in Arizona, we have a 2-year time window with the state of Missouri to open that factory. But we are moving all of those things forward. But again, we have $39 million worth of orders and a
Yeah.
backlog of LOIs outside of that behind us, just here in Arizona. And we have to make sure that this is moving tickety boo, so to speak,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
and then take everything that we've created here and duplicate that in Missouri so that we have a Midwest factory as well. Our goal, even though we've had homes in Hawaii and New York, our goal is that we only have a 500-mile delivery radius
That's smart.
because it those expenses for transport get up there.
Yeah,
So,
especially to Hawaii. But you know what, folks? I think what I'm hearing here is the opportunity for you as an investor to maybe help with the logjam, if you will, and help that cash flow come into this company, help people get homes, make this affordable. Where everyone's talking about affordable housing these days and how expensive real estate has become. I think this little company right here can certainly be an answer. I don't want the word little to really diminish what you're doing here with United Tiny Homes. So click on the link so we can connect you with Gail. And Gail, I see that you've connected your phone. So I'm excited for the tour here.
okay, I'm gonna turn
Let's
this.
go ahead and allow your phone to come in, and we'll do that. There, we're doing that there, and
Recording in progress.
Your other. Okay, there we go. I've muted your other one, so go ahead, take us through.
All right. Let me just turn this around so you guys don't have to look at my face. All right. So this is the factory. This is Amy's home right here. This is one of our Cheyennes. This is going to go to her in about a week, next Friday.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Could we take a peek inside of any of them?
Yeah, this one I'll take you inside over here to John's.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. This you can see. So we put in a really solid subfloor, and one of the things that we do that other manufacturers don't is we put this underneath it. Normally, this just sits on the steel,
Yep.
and that's where you get a lot of your sags in. You know, if like you've been in mobile homes and they've got saggy floors, that's how come.
So the OSB you put underneath there is look like maybe half, 3/4 inch OSB.
Yeah, we do thin OSB here, but we put a vapor barrier. Then we put the OSB, then we put that. So instead of having all of your insulation hanging underneath,
Yeah.
it's inside your floor system. It's giving you a better insulation system just in your flooring alone.
Yes, that makes sense.
Now this is also a Cheyenne, but this is pretty cool.
So Cheyenne is the name of the style of the home?
This is the floor plan. So this is our 1 bedroom, but something super cool about this is that this is actually cork.
Oh my goodness.
So this doesn't burn. It's an incredible insulator, thermal barrier, and it goes on just like stucco. We just spray it on like a stucco.
Wait a minute, stop the press. I think I just heard you say doesn't burn. So
correct.
What makes me think about is what happened in California.
Exactly.
This be an alternative where you can have these tiny homes for transition homes for the homes that they're building, and maybe they even build bigger homes with cork and they won't burn in a wildfire?
That's right.
That is amazing.
They are WUI certified. So this home is getting ready to leave, so it's not plugged in right now, but you can see like quartz countertops, farm sinks.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And this one, so we even have some of her furniture in here already for her.
This.
Yeah.
And it looks spacious.
They are spacious.
I mean, when you think in the name tiny home, I guess it feigns the idea that you're sort of like in a trailer because you're talking about a chassis, and yet that feels so roomy.
So literally these homes they just have wheels underneath them to get them where they need to be. Now, this is a very special custom home. We do custom homes. We don't do a lot of them. Everything in this home was made out of steel. The framing, there's no wood in this home.
Wow.
For a couple out of San Diego.
That is gorgeous.
Then we have this. So this is a different version of the same 1 bedroom floor plan.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And this one is also, let me see if this one is just getting packed up. We used it as a model. We put a bunch of furniture in it, but it's leaving next week.
Look how gorgeous.
You've got a full closet, lots of room. You have an air conditioning and a heater in the living room and in the bedroom. Plenty of room here. You can even put an L-shaped couch. Lots of room.
Wow.
And these are all of our standards. So you've got,
Look at the ceiling. That's beautiful.
yeah, pine ceilings, you've got light up mirrors, washer and dryer, you have a full shower. If you're like this,
Look
we
at
use
that.
Austin often as our measurement. He's 6'2", and he can fit in all of our showers.
And this home right here that you just took us through, what is that price point there?
This house is 120,000 complete
That is gorgeous. Unbelievable.
with everything in it, all your appliances, just not the furniture. But if you need the furniture, we can do that too.
That is absolutely remarkable. Wow, looks like you got a wagon down there.
We do have a Calistoga wagon. You want to see?
Unbelievable.
You want to see in there real quick?
Yeah, yeah.
Super cool.
Wait a
And
minute.
then
That's a home?
this is a home. Well, it's a guest house.
Holy smokes. So someone can really make this like a pioneer feel on their property. I'm thinking about ranches in Colorado, Wyoming, India. I mean, this is really cool looking. And
I
it,
was just yesterday. I was up at a 600-acre ranch up out of Winslow, Arizona. We're going to be putting a bunch of these in there for a glamping for them.
oh my goodness, look at this. It literally is like a covered wagon.
It is a covered wagon. You got
Unbelievable.
a little microwave, all your stuff, little table here. You've got a full bathroom in the back with a shower and everything.
So glamping is bougie camping and it's becoming very in vogue, right?
Very.
What does something like that cost, that custom covered wagon look that you have? Oh, look at the doghouse that's going to come with it.
We take this to the home shows. This
That
is
is,
our crew. This is all of their um, vision boards.
oh man, I love it. I love the team and family aspect that you have. So something like the wagon there, what would that cost?
60,000 complete.
Everything is so affordable.
Yep.
This is so impressive.
Hanging up on here.
All right. Okay, and let's unmute you over here. If you can unmute that, there you
Yep.
go.
We're good.
All right. That is absolutely remarkable, Gail. I mean, when you think about the styles, the places that these homes can go into, my goodness, it is just like so unlimited. You know, a
It
lot
is.
of homes, when people want a certain floor plan and they buy a piece of land and they're like, oh, it would be great if we could do this, but we can't because of this, that, or the other thing. This is so functional, and you could put a few of them on a property. I mean, I love that. So, Gail, talk to us about what you would want to impart to an investor that is like, Izzy, I've seen enough. I've clicked on the link. I want to chat with Gail. Why don't you run through those things as we sunset this conversation? But this has been amazing. And I am so proud to be a part of this project. And I think investors will as well.
I
So
know. We're
just bring
excited
us
to
up
have
to
you
speed
on
with
this
that.
team. Yeah, we're really excited that you're on our team.
Thank you so much.
The biggest thing is that, our challenge has never been demand. Our challenge has been, matching our working capital to
Hmm.
growth.
Hmm.
We're in a high growth niche,
Yeah.
and we're not filling up a bunch of mobile home parks. But we are working with, because I'm speaking now at a lot of these like IMN conferences and things, talking to the manufactured housing community and letting them know, okay, you've got a park. You're having trouble getting people to buy because they can't afford a $350,000 manufactured home, but they can afford mine.
Hmm. Hmm.
We've had 3 people not qualify, and they sit back and they're like, what? And then, we've just worked with them. It's like, you charge X amount for your space rent no matter what. Why do you care what the square footage is
Right.
of the home? And so we worked with a park, and we've now got 4. We're going to put a total of 30 in out in California. He's
How
just switching it all over. We put 4 in, 2 of them are already sold. It's working. But they weren't selling before,
uh-huh. Yeah.
and he makes his money off the space rent, not the home.
Yeah.
So, that I think that's an important thing to notice. and to understand. And what this raise is going to accomplish for us is it's going to accelerate our revenue, improve our margins, increase our production efficiency, and support these larger contracts. They take a long time.
Yeah,
So, and if there's any delays, we're still small enough where those delays affect all of the rest of production.
yeah.
So we're looking at this really, it helps strengthen our financial controls, supports those larger contracts, and gives us, an economy of scale.
Yeah, and I feel like what it does as well is going back to what I was saying earlier, just that log jam when orders come in and things like that. You can only do so much if you have to expend capital, wait to get paid for the home. You probably don't get paid until everything's finally hooked up, and they go, "Yep, love it," just like a
Right.
checklist, right? Or what do they call it? A punch list when you move into a home. There's probably those things.
Well,
So
because it's chattel,
yeah,
this is a super important point. Because it's chattel, and you buy that $100,000 house and you give me $5,000, and let's say it costs 25,000 more to install it, and that's wrapped into your loan, that all lands on us. And
mm,
because it's chattel, we don't get paid anything. There is no such thing as a construction loan for what
right,
we build.
right.
So we get $5,000. It might cost us 70 or 75 to build it, another 20 to install it, and we don't get any of that money until it's connected, delivered and connected to utilities and you have your keys.
Yeah,
So, when I've got 15 homes that are all financed in here, it's a heavy lift,
yeah.
but the factory's already built. Our systems are built. The demand is there. We just really need to align the capital with the opportunity that's in front of us.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think this can make things so much smoother for you and your sales team as well, and helping people walk through that. So, folks, again, you've seen that link come up several times. Here's my final thoughts. This is an amazing opportunity, in my opinion. I think you have the ability to partner with somebody that knows how to run things on a shoestring budget. So just only imagine what this company could do if they didn't feel so tight, right? With the capital, because you got to manage some things really, really well. My hat's off to you, Gail. You're doing it and doing a great job. The other thing is, this is an answer to affordable housing. If you want
Right.
to be a part of that, as opposed to pumping money into all these great companies that build homes, and I'm not taking anything away from them, but there is a part of our country that just it's out of reach for them to get those homes that are being built today. It really is. And this gives them an affordable option for people to take a look at that. And I'm so proud to be a part of this project, Gil. You're doing an amazing job. Your final thoughts as we wrap up here.
We're just really looking for the right partners who also see that vision, like you do, Izzy, that we are making a difference. There are tons of other builders out there in the world that are, tiny home builders. Some are only doing 5 a year, some are doing 50. But if all of us were working at capacity, we're never going to make a dent in the housing needs right now.
Mm,
And we're working with municipalities literally across the country, helping them understand, Ojai in California. How do we allow tiny homes? The city of Bisbee, Arizona is dying, literally dying. They did a housing study and they're dying. And without our tiny homes, and they picked us to be that partner, they're like they can't make it. There's nowhere for people to live.
yeah.
And so we're excited to be able to make a difference, to put that in the backyard for your kid who's going to college, to put mom in the backyard or mom and dad in the backyard so can be close to the family, even if they're traveling and they just have a place to land,
Yeah. Yeah.
when they're coming to your house, or creating for lack of better words, like a backyard riches type program where ordinary people don't have to go buy additional property
Yeah.
to have a rental. They can put a house in the backyard, help solve a problem in a lot of these cities, do a long-term rental. You've got a $900 or $1,000 mortgage and you're renting that home out for two. You're cash flow positive in less than like immediately.
Yes. Yes.
And it's a great
Love that.
it's a great thing all the way around. So we're excited to be working with people, like you and whoever's watching that wants to make a difference and help the economy, help people have better lives, and watch this cool company grow.
Yes. Yes. Well, there you have it, folks. You heard everything from Gail. Well, not everything, right? There's so much more to cover. Click the link. We'll coordinate a call with you and Gail Kingsbury, the founder and CEO of United Tiny Homes. I'm so excited to be a part of this. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Gail, thank you so much, because I can see
Thanks.
you're incredibly busy there and carving out this time and giving some folks a little visibility into an amazing project like this. This really helps. I always say, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, imagine what a video is worth. And I think you really open the eyes to an option for investors where they'll take a serious look at this and figure out if it makes sense to be a part of their portfolio. I certainly think it does, in my opinion. But thank you so much for joining, everybody. Thank you, Gail Kingsbury, and we will talk to you soon on the next one. Take care, everybody. Thanks,
Thanks,
Gail.
everybody.